Yes.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
Why haven't you done the deed yet?
The key to a strong society is family. And so, in my view, choosing my future husband is like the most important decision I'll ever make. And I'm somebody that I know my heart, and I know that I fall really hard when I meet somebody. So I want to retain some level of objectivity when I'm selecting a future partner. And I know that if I had sex with them, I would be completely imprinted on them. And instead of being like, okay, is this person, do they have the qualities that I'm looking for in a husband, or am I just making it work instead of like seeing red flags and leaving?
Is there any reason why you're dressed so modestly instead of revealing like most women tend to do when they come out to Miami?
I mean, this is just my personal sense of style. I just think it's respectful to others and to my future partner, and to myself, to just cover myself up more. I know that I, take care of myself. I'm pretty athletic, but I don't need to have that on display.
Are you a virgin?
Yes.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
Why haven't you done the deed yet?
The key to a strong society is family. And so, in my view, choosing my future husband is like the most important decision I'll ever make. And
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Well, how's the dating culture different in Miami as opposed to where you're from?
I would just say it's more fundamentally transactional in a way that I think is off-putting.
And how are they transactional?
Like, men want women for their beauty and women want men for their money.
But you don't think that that's really how most relationships end up being anyways?
Yeah, for sure, in marriage, when there's a lifelong commitment. But I think when, a guy takes a girl out to dinner, spends however much money, let's just say like $500, $1,000 on a meal, and then she's expected to have sex with him and they just have that. I mean, that's fine for other people, but it's certainly not for me.
Do you like going out to the clubs?
No.
Why not?
It's loud, and I can't hear myself think, let alone talk to somebody else, and it's just, there's drinking and there's just a lot. I just don't like it. It's not my scene.
What kind of men do you think you'd run into at clubs and bars?
Men that I'm not interested in. I mean, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do drugs, I don't have sex outside of marriage, so for me to look for romantic prospects at a club is ridiculous.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Well, how's the dating culture different in Miami as...
Hey, you women, take example, take heed. They gonna think like we gonna get them like that in the kingdom. Hey, I want to say shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect brothers out there, nodes in the gospel abroad. Living understanding of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson, not too long, but this young lady, this is a fair damsel here, from Canada, basically was giving her insight on marriage, which she made some very important points, displaying modesty, humility, modesty, tranquility, man, and morality, man. Okay, and women in the West will shun a woman like that because she's not into the whole culture. You see that she's covered up, you can tell she has a body on her, but you tell she's covered up, and she's not revealing her shape. Okay, now she doesn't have her hair covered, but in certain cultures, they doesn't require that. But regardless of it, it's a mindset, because you got women in Israel that got their head covered and they're dressed in modesty, but yet they have a $5 attitude. You know what I'm saying? So really, your clothing doesn't really matter if you have a protrude mindset, a wicked mindset, which, your clothes and your personality is supposed to resemble one another. Okay, because definitely with humility and modesty comes with dressing modesty. But, the women today, they like the whole culture. They like the club. They like various men. They like the money. They like the glitz and glamour. Okay, like the scripture says, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay, so, hey, this is a very example on how our women supposed to behave. And she looked like she could be, she says she's from Canada, but she looked like she could be a Jake, maybe of Latin descent. Maybe, I'm not sure, but regardless of it, our women, they're going to think and behave like this, but even on a far greater scale in the kingdom. Okay, because Keisha today, you don't want no dealings with that, man. Okay, she's combative, she talks back. Even women in the truth, man, like I got into a little back and forth, a little little word spout with, may have been two women, may have been the same women, last week regarding the 144,000 being only men. And this woman swore up and down, she wanted to argue with me about, no, it's not only going to be men. But see, the thing is that she shut her mouth and she took heed and took correction and humbled down. She may have understood what I was saying. But see, this society has pumped women up on a pedestal to teach them to be proud against men and ultimately to give their opinion and have the last word. But your opinion don't mean shit when it's not coming from a place of truth, man. And that's what you're going to find out in a short while when all hell break loose, that your opinion never mattered. Okay, you're going to do what you're told and you're going to fall in line if you want that protection. And a woman like this, she will have no problem getting a man. But see, even then, not just any man, a man of the Lord. Okay, because if brothers deal with women on this side, you know, they usually come with headaches. They come with problems. They come with insecurities. They come with other baggage. You know, as Paul said, dealing with women, you prepare to have trouble in the flesh. But then some brothers got some decent women too, you know, which grew up in Babylon, that understand the moral principles of marriage and, you know, serving their men and shutting up when they need to shut up, versus the career woman that wants to forward her agenda and push her venom on you. It becomes a conflict of interest, man. Okay. So with that being said, I just got a couple of precepts here because she has a beautiful spirit on her. And hey, that's claimed, by the way. You know, and you looking in the comment boards, you see all these simple rules. And, you know, that's the crazy part. See, a simp, they'll take a woman like this and they're totally Americanizing her, man. Like, out of all the comment, like, matter of fact, let me fast forward it. Let's look at some of these wicked comments. Now, peep this. You got women in there suddenly, literally 1 in a million. She's perfect. I adore her. I remember when I used to have this mentality as well. What you mean, used to? You used to? What happened? How you gonna commend somebody for having that mentality and you don't have it anymore? What happened? Or did the world get a hold of you? You hope she stick with it. And right there, she's basically stating that, look, she's lost her innocence. Because once a woman gets taken by this world and various men, they're not coming back. Okay, because oftentimes, man, women, they feel like they're missing something. Or they want to go out, they want to club with their homegirls, and then their homegirls put the peer pressure on them. And before you know it, she's dressing provocative. She's doing things that's inconvenient. You know, she's not in the right spirit. And before you know it, she's bringing straight up confusion to your household. You know, which causes even more tension. But peep this. It says here, she deserves a high value man. It says, virginity aside, she's modest, decent, and seems loyal. She's for the keep. Only a man that deserves this high quality of a woman is a high quality man, also saving himself. That's a dumb comment, okay? Because even if she does appear to be a high value woman, a high value man is not saving himself for a high value woman. A high value man, it just is. Okay, a high value men deal with what they deal with, but overall, a high value man is a man of the Lord. Okay, ain't no men sitting to save himself for the perfect woman, because we know on this side the perfect woman does not necessarily exist. Though you do have women that are exception to the rule. So that's some folly. But it says, this generation of men don't deserve a girl like Jillian. She is too pure for this world and generation. A true angelic woman, God, please protect her. But see, a nigga like that, he says that, but yet he will go and he'll drink a bath water, because even a woman is good with this type of standard and quality, she's not to be put on a pedestal or worshipped. Okay? Now, I will say this. In this type of characteristic, you can exalt her in her deeds and in her feminism, you know, and in her femininity, her charity, things like that. But you're not supposed to worship her like she's a god. She's doing exactly what she's created to do, to be a servant. And you speak highly of women like this. If you mean pedestal that way, yeah, you speak highly of women like that. You know, but she's not to be bowed down, or you're not supposed to be drinking a bath water all because. But a simple nigga like that would turn a pure woman like this, and they would turn her into a boss bitch or a queen, which queen goes back into a hussy or a prostitute. Niggas like that would turn a woman. Because men in America, man, let's face it, they're low men. They're low value men here. Okay, they have that of the quality of a black woman. This is why when you jakes get passports, man, yeah, you may go over there and find you a wife. But overall, man, they don't want you bringing this weak ass coach over there. They don't want that, man. All right. So this is the book of Titus 2. And I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, but speak the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and patience. And the aged woman, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness. Holy means to be separate. Not false accusers, not giving too much wine, but teachers of good things. And appears she's been taught good things, because once you grew up in a household and you seeing your mother submit to your father and she's doing everything, she never talks back, a lot of times those principles and ideas will pass on down to the daughter because she haven't seen it happen. It's going to be foreign to her versus a woman that grows up with her parents and they're in a relationship for 15, 20, 30, 35 years, however. But if they're seeing constant arguments and the woman challenging the man's authority, the little girl or the woman, she's going to grow up and she's going to challenge the man she's with authority because she's seen it in a household. Versus if the husband is bringing hell upon the house for discipline purposes and the woman is sitting there quiet with her head down and she's submissive and humble, then the woman is going to grow up engaging that same behavior because she's been taught. That's why it says here, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior becoming as holiness, not false accusers, not giving much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands. And the mothers today do not teach their daughters to love their husbands. And instead, they teach them to use their husbands, look at them as commodities, and to disrespect them. Okay? They teach their daughters to disrespect and play the field. This is why by the time that the average woman, when she's 21 years old, she slept with well over 30, 40 men. You know, a woman that young, a woman that's supposed to be in the fruit of her age, she's already doing Buck Rogers numbers to the point she's destroyed. So by the time she's 25, she has 3 kids, 2 different men, you know, 2 different men. And before you know it, when she's 30, she wants to settle down when she's used goods. Because during the youth, she was not taught, or she was not portraying herself to be accurate in her youth, man. That's why it says the aged woman, which is the older women, likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming godliness, not false accusers, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands and to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So technically, if you disobeying Yahweh Shai and you disobeying the men of the Lord, that's literally like blasphemy, man. Okay, because our relationship with Yahweh Shai is sacred unto the men of the Lord, versus the woman's relationship with the men of the Lord, that's very sacred. So if you're not engaging in that respect, then technically you can be blaspheming the spirit, man. And there's no repentance for that. Okay, now you have levels of blasphemy, of course, but still, you know, that's a blasphemous type behavior. You see? Because most women, like I said, they don't teach their daughters to be discreet. But instead, I've seen, man, I was going to get some gas last week, man, and I saw this. She had to be every bit. You know, women, a lot of times, many Latin women, they can be 24 years old and they can look like they 17, 18 years old. I saw this chick, she probably, at oldest, she may have been 18. At youngest, she may have been 16. But I'm gravitating to more, she may have been 17, 18. Very attractive. Had a very petite body. She was like small proportion. She had to be like 4'11", probably like 96, 97 pounds. Like literally fun size, right? Pretty. But yet, I'm thinking this is a grown woman. I'm like, she's young, but she's about 18, 19. So I kind of look, because, you know, I'm coming through the door and, you know what I'm saying, I opened the door for him. But the look she looked at me like I ain't even exist, man. She had that certain sense of proudness on her. In back of my mind, I'm like, well, you know, fuck it. I ain't had to open the door for none of you niggas. And the only reason I opened the door is because there was a lot of people coming in. And technically they had the right of way. But she came in. And then when I turned around, I guess she came in with her mother. But she had like this belly top on. You know, young girl. Fucking shit showing, man. I'm like, what the hell? But that's not discreet. That's why it says that they teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet. They're not learning that from the elder women. They're not learning that from their mothers or their grandmothers. But instead, they're learning how to talk back. They're learning how to talk shit. They're learning how to be disrespectful. They're learning how to say, I don't need a man. They're learning how to be a career woman. You know? Because your parents are your first teachers. Chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands. They don't teach obedience in the house, especially among Jake households. Women are not taught to be obedient to their husbands. And if they are, it's very far and few in between. That the word of the Most High be not blasphemy. Okay? So that's the point. They're supposed to teach the women to behave that way, to be modest. All right. This is the book of Sirach 26. And I'm going to start at verses 13. It says, the grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones, man. Okay. When a woman is very discreet and she takes discretion and she knows what crowd to stay away from and what not to indulge in, that gives your husband more security in his work. That gives him more testosterone to do what he have to do as a man and to go out there and get the job done, because he can go home to a woman that haven't been touched, or he can go home to an unblemished woman. You know, he can go home to a woman that he knows that's not out flirting or playing the field or, you know, in men's faces, but he can go home to a woman that can rest assured that she's going to be his. And it says a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord. And there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed, man. Okay, a woman that can receive instructions from my husband. Look, baby, this is the way I want to cook. Clean the house this way. When you go out and dive in this business, stay away from that. Stay away from these people. And she takes heed to that. You can't, man. That's a blessing, man. Because that shows that she respects and revere you, man. She revere you as something good. She respects you. And if, brothers, you got a woman like that, hold on to her, man. Because it's very hard to find that shit these days. And you may have women that have those qualities, but at the end of the day, they may have kids from other men, which, you know, that happens. They may have career, and then they may get involved with the wrong crowd. And before you know it, you're like, who the fuck is this bitch? I don't know her anymore. And that's like a waste of potential. That's a lost situation, unfortunate. But it happens. But it says, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun when it rises is in a high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife and the ordering of her house, man. Okay? And that's the point, man. You women, you need to take heed to these type of behaviors. And we coming into the time now that, hey, you women, you ain't going to be able to come nowhere but correct. If you coming sideways or a third of a way or coming in backwards or even halfway straight, you ain't going to come in at all, man. All right? So I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, shalom and the Baba Shalom.